This is probably going to be the hardest video that I have ever made. In light with the recent events that have happened over the past couple of days, I feel as if this is the right time for me to discuss what happened Monday night in Minnesota. Let's do this, guys. What's going on, guys? I'm your boy El Parcero Philly, the united of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And listen, guys, this is going to be a little bit different of a video. If you guys know my channel, it's a majority of Philadelphia sports and soccer. And not really, I don't really like to steer my channel talking about politics or current events or different, controversial topics like what we're going to talk about. But this George Floyd incident is much more than current events or politics. This has something to do with culture as well, and that's what I'm all about as well. This has something to do with the American culture that I am extremely embarrassed about, being a proud Philadelphian, and of course being an American. So I feel as if that this dark topic needs to be discussed on my YouTube channel. And really, what really triggered me to start this video or to make this video was, one, checking in on my girlfriend at work today and her just crying. And I was just like, I was just really worried at first, with what's going on with the coronavirus pandemic. I know some people have been getting laid off at her job, so I was worried that, she got laid off as well. But, she told me that she was upset that watching the videos of this George Floyd incident, and it really, it got to her so bad that she was emotional and was crying. And that really touched me as well. I started watching the videos of the George Floyd incident, and it got to me as well. I couldn't even finish watching it. The images of watching, the police officer, Derek Chauvin, pressing his knee down on George Floyd's head, and George just begging and begging for air, for him to just get up. It's really hard to watch, guys. I feel as if it is necessary for Parcero Philly to cover this topic real quick. All right, so Monday Memorial Day, May 25th, 2020, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the neighborhood of Powderhorn in Minneapolis, a little after 8 p.m. on Monday night, the police in Minneapolis received a phone call, a 911 call, about a forgery attempt at some deli in the Powderhorn neighborhood, in which, of course, the police officers responded to the call. And it's been reported that, George Floyd was using a counterfeit $20 bill to pay for, I guess, what was his food or his groceries. I'm not sure. The finer details of this incident are still not sure. It literally happened 3 days ago, so we still are trying to figure out all the full details. But from what I gathered, it seems as if, Floyd was just, we're going through a pandemic, and there's a lot of people who are not, lucky enough to, have food on the table every day. It's hard enough that you can't work. And, unemployment in certain states has been a pain. I can attest to that. So I don't know George Floyd. I don't know what type of person he is at all, but, maybe the guy was just going through the struggles, and he was probably hungry. And, when we get desperate, we make desperate moves as human beings. So, we don't know exactly what happened, but, the cops were called. George was then reported that he was physically resisting an arrest. And that's when we got into what we all know now. Derek Chauvin, as well as 3 other officers, were detaining George Floyd. And for 8 minutes, 46 seconds, the 46-year-old George Floyd was detained on the ground by Derek Chauvin. Now, just from the earlier videos that I have seen, George looks to be a bigger guy than Derek Chauvin. Derek put him on the ground as well as the 3 other officers. There was 2 other officers that were helping detaining him on the ground. Derek Chauvin, for 8 minutes, was putting his knee on top of George Floyd. And throughout those 8 minutes, George was begging for help, was begging for mercy. He couldn't breathe. He kept saying, like, this is where I was gonna die. He kept yelling out, "Mama," different things that he was begging for help. And after 6 minutes, it seems as if George, at that moment, was unconscious and essentially lost his life. He would be then rushed to a hospital in nearby Minneapolis, where he was presumed dead, which would then lead to what we have seen in the past couple of days: riots throughout, not only in Minnesota and Minneapolis, all over the country, that we have seen the different riots, and these are getting violent. Now listen, guys, being from Philadelphia, there's a reason why they do nickname it Philadelphia at times. I'm familiar with the police brutality in my own city, and I realize that this is an issue throughout the damn country. These police brutality cases date back from decades and decades and decades, guys. So why is it that this incident seems to be highlighted more than what we have seen in the past? Now, one is the fact that we are in the coronavirus pandemic and we are stuck inside. But two, this is a brutal murder. Like, even just watching the video, George Floyd for 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes, was pinned down to the ground as he was slowly dying. We've seen in the past, the police officers just shooting them and being done with it right then and there. This was torture at its finest from a police officer. These are the people that are supposed to keep us safe. And listen, we all have our opinions towards police in general, and I completely get it. Whether we have positive or negative thoughts and feelings towards the police officers, let's be honest and let's set one thing straight. If you were in an accident, or someone broke into your house, or you had a medical issue, who are you going to call first? 911. And they are the first responders to whatever emergency you may have like that. Now, despite them being the people that keep us safe, they don't really instill safety and happiness in a lot of us. And I'm right there with you guys. Even for the cleanest person out there, the good old Joes out there, clean records, clean slates and whatnot, no matter what the skin color you are, I guarantee you, if you're driving down the road and you see a cop just hiding on the side of the road, you're gonna have a little panic attack driving by. You're gonna check the speed limit, you're gonna check and see if you're doing good. And that is the average American, I would think. That may not be you, but that's the majority of people that I know. And look, and I'll be honest, I have a record as well. I'm not perfect. Nothing too crazy. And when I do see police officers, I have anxiety. I have a little bit of a panic attack. I could be doing absolutely nothing, but when I see a police officer, I do get worried. And that's not the point of what police officers are there for. Now listen, I'm not saying all cops are bad. I have friends who are police officers and are great people and are sick by incidents like this. And there are other officers that, listen, you have the ultimate power as a cop. And it's crazy. You're crazy to think that someone's not going to abuse those powers. And of course, this is going to be another incident that has to do with race. No one has really dealt with as much abuse. No race has dealt with this much abuse than African Americans have. I get that, but I truly believe that the minute we start looking at each other as human beings and not by the color of our skin, I truly believe that will be the minute incidents like what we dealt with in Minneapolis, Minnesota on Monday night will end. This again has brought up the whole race card issue. And if you guys watch my channel thoroughly, you guys know what I stand for. And the point of what I do is try to unite people, especially in Philadelphia sports where you don't see much culture. I am beyond disgusted and I am beyond upset of what has transpired on Monday night. And I just wanted to, voice out my opinion, and this is something that needs to be talked about. And even just watching the Hennepin County attorney, say that cases like the one of George Floyd, police brutality, take 9 to 12 months to convict someone, to prosecute someone, to act on the criminal. That absolutely boggles my mind, and that continues showing the deficiencies that we have in the United States. 9 to 12 months to convict a police officer that abused his power and killed an innocent African American man. We have serious issues in this country, And I'm not the one for that, but I really hope that the people who have that power can please step up and we can finally start making this change. I am sick and tired of hearing another African American man dies from a police officer. I'm sick and tired of people using the black card, the white card, the Latino card, the Asian card. Why can't we all just be one? Why is that so hard? Now, I'm gonna ask you guys, and I'm gonna do the same thing. After this video, if you get this far, look at yourself in the mirror and see what you can do to start changing this narrative. Because this shit has to stop. That's all I got for you guys. This is a tough video, and this is a different tone than what I usually put on my YouTube channel. If you guys do watch my YouTube channel, you guys know how upbeat and positive I am, but this really has affected all of us Americans. It really has. Guys, in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on this whole George Floyd process, and really, guys, really thoughts and prayers go out to the George Floyd family. This is not easy. Losing your whether it was your son, your significant other, or your cousin, your sister, your brother, whatever it is, this is not easy. So thoughts and prayers go out to them. Guys, I'm your boy El Parcero Philly. If you guys like this video and you want to continue helping me create diversity within Philadelphia sports, you can hit that like button and subscribe to this channel to help your boy out. I'm El Parcero Philly. You guys take care.